Ever wonder if a particular external feature is affecting your house feng shui? Or if you are currently looking for a new home, what external features should you avoid? So there are about 3,459 things in feng shui that you should avoid, which I will be sharing in this video. Just kidding. But there are indeed tons of features to avoid. Through my years of reading, researching, and hands-on experience with Feng Shui, I filter out the important ones and group them into 4 main categories. So in this video, I'll be sharing what are these 4 categories and what are some examples of external features in each. How do these features affect the energy and luck of a house? And some remedies to fix them. I'll also leave a link to a PDF guide that I've made based on what I'm about to share in this video. And if you stick till the end of this video, I'll give you the most important piece of advice. But first, why are external features important in Feng Shui and why are there so many to consider? To answer this, let me share a quick background on Feng Shui. There are many different methods and many different schools of Feng Shui, but we can broadly categorize them into 2 main schools. One is called Luan Tou Pai, or the School of Forms. This school examines the mountains, rivers, roads, and structures that surround a property to assess the flow of qi or energy and how these features affect the overall feng shui of the house. This school focuses on the shapes and forms of the external environment, the tangible aspects, the physical things you can see and interact with directly. As Feng Shui developed, another school of thought emerged. It's called Li Qi Pai, or the School of Regulating Qi. This school focuses on the calculations of Feng Shui. It takes into consideration the qi that we can't see and how this unseen energy affects our house Feng Shui. Think of qi like Wi-Fi, where there is an expert trying to figure out which area in your house has better and stronger Wi-Fi coverage through a set of formulas and calculations. There are many sub-schools in this category. The most famous schools in this category are the Flying Star Feng Shui and the 8 Mansions Feng Shui. Even though the Regulating Qi school focuses a lot on calculations, they also agree that external features play a massive role in your house Feng Shui. Nowadays, modern Feng Shui practice has long merged the ideas of these 2 main schools, and some practitioners have even forgotten there's this difference. For this video, we'll focus mainly on the forms Feng Shui, the physical stuff that you can see. We are not going to talk about the calculations part here. This is easier for people who are new to Feng Shui to understand. And also, the principles of forms are universally agreed by all schools of Feng Shui, whereas calculations can vary significantly between sub-schools. Understanding this will help you better understand the external features that we will cover in this video. So now let's start with the first category, the roads. Take a look at this residential building surrounded by highway, or this one, located between the roads. Given a choice, would you want to live there? Imagine the house as you, and the external features around are like the clothes that you wear. When your clothes are well fitted, stylish, and comfortable, you feel good and confident. But when they are not well made or even torn, you feel lousy, which affects your overall mood. Road formations can greatly impact the energy around your home. Let's talk about some key road formations you should avoid and how to fix them. First, the highways. Highways have fast-moving traffic, which creates lots of noise, bad air, and vibrations disrupting the peaceful energy of your home. Also, the focus of the study of Feng Shui is qi. The constant movement and noise from the traffic cause the qi to be unstable and also symbolize instability for the family. Another negative formation that is similar to highway but slightly less impactful is the intersections. Busy intersections can bring a mix of disruptive energies and also generate loads of noise and air pollution, disturbing the peace and balance of your home. Then we have the Fan Gong Sha, or the reverse bow negative force. By the way, Sha means negative force. They are roads that curve away from your house. They look like bow aiming at you 24/7, symbolizing constant stress. On the other hand, if your house is on the other side of the road, it is known as the embrace formation. This is an auspicious formation. Next example, we have the road clash, or the Lu Tong. They are the T-junction or straight road pointing directly at your home. It's like a strong force charging at you, disrupting the peaceful energy needed for home Feng Shui, causing stress, accidents, and financial troubles. So what are the remedies? For all these negative road features, choose a higher floor to reduce noise, air pollution, and vibrations. Invest in high-quality soundproof windows and curtains to minimize noise and vibrations. Use tall plants or trees in front of the house to minimize the negative force. If you're slightly more particular, some Feng Shui schools will recommend to place a stone sculpture known as the Shi Gan Dang or the classic Chinese stone lion at the entrance, or a Bagua mirror to reflect the negative energy. If there is very little traffic, then it is fine. You can choose not to do anything. However, do understand that these remedies only help to minimize damage. They do not magically turn the negative energy into positive energy. Also, everything shared is most impactful when it directly affects your front door. If you open your front door and the straight route or the arrow is not pointing at you, it's not that serious. So if you're looking for a good Feng Shui, pay attention to the roads around your house. They can either bring harmony and fortune or disrupt your peace and luck. Now, for the second category, your home's energy can be greatly influenced by the neighboring buildings. Could they be the source of your problems? Picture this, you just finished work and it's time to go home. However, it's rush hour and the train is so packed that you can't even move. Your private space is completely invaded. In Feng Shui, the positioning of neighboring buildings can create similar feelings of tension and discomfort, much like being in that crowded space. We have 3 examples here. Number 1, the Bi Dao Sha, the wall knife. This is when you open the front door and the first thing you see is the edge of the neighboring building or a wall in front of you. It symbolizes obstacles and blockages in life. It's like bumping into walls. The flow of qi to your house isn't smooth. Second, 尖角 or the sharp edge. When the corner of the nearby building points at your house at a 45 degrees angle, this sharp corner acts like something pointy that can hurt you, bringing in negative vibes and tension. And the most impactful of this position is known as 天斩煞 or the heaven slash. This occurs when 2 tall buildings have a narrow gap between them directly facing your home. Just like its name, it is like a sword slashing through your house. The qi coming through that gap creates strong negative energy rushing towards you, making you more prone to conflicts and even accidents. It's like living under a sword, ready to strike. For remedies, it's quite similar to the earlier example. You can use tall leafy plants, a stone sculpture, or a Bagua mirror to minimize or block the negative energy. The only difference here is, for the heaven slash, living on lower levels reduces the impact. Also, try to avoid seeing these negative features so as not to trigger the tension. Choosing the right surroundings for your house is key to maintaining good energy and harmony. Before we move on to the next category, if you're new to my channel, I want to highlight an important concept of Feng Shui that relates to all categories that we have covered and also those that we will cover later. In Feng Shui, the main focus is the flow of qi. The vital energy is about how qi enters our house, how we harness it to bring harmony, wellness, and even wealth to our lovely home. Qi is not just air, it's a mix of energies like air, sound, light, smell, and even vibes. The ancient Chinese simply used one word to describe them, called qi. Another key aspect of Feng Shui is the symbolism of certain things in relation to our house. As you have seen in the previous 2 categories and we will see in the next 2, these negative external features either have bad symbolism like Bi Dao, which symbolizes obstacles and bumping into walls, or they cause negative energy flow like the heaven slash. Some features are a combination of both, like the reverse bow. Once you understand the concept of qi flow and symbolism, you can easily see why these features are considered negative. If I've provided value for you in this video so far, don't forget to... So, the next category is ugly sights. These are features we want to avoid because they have bad symbolism. Take a look at this view outside the house. A beautiful garden, or this one, what a pleasant sight, so refreshing. Now compare it to this view. Every time the owner opens their door, they see rubbish and the smell is just terrible. Beautiful sights trigger happy hormones, while awful ones trigger negative feelings, bringing negative qi into your home. Some examples of negative symbolism are abandoned land or buildings. They send out an aura of neglect and decay, symbolizing being abandoned. This can create a sense of emptiness and sadness in your home, sapping your motivation and joy. Dead trees or plants, they are signs of lifelessness. In Feng Shui, vibrant, healthy plants are essential for good energy flow. Height imbalance. If your home is significantly shorter or taller than surrounding buildings, it can create an imbalance. A shorter home feels oppressed, while an overly tall building symbolizes loneliness. They look as if they don't fit in with the rest. Reflective windows or bright structures like large advertisement billboards. They act like mirrors, bouncing harsh light into your space, leading to mental stress and unease. It's like being in an interrogation room 24/7. Of course, there are many more to list, but I believe you get the idea. For remedies, the main idea is to avoid seeing them to prevent triggering negative feelings. For an abandoned house, try not to walk in that direction. For a dead tree or plant on your property, you need to replace it. On a side note, if you have a garden, you need to put in effort into nurturing it. A well-maintained garden provides positive qi, shielding you from negative qi. If it's neglected, it carries negative symbolism. And if it's a public tree, contact your town council. For short buildings, use tall plants or paintings of mountains or trees to symbolize growth. As for the solitary tall building, it's similar to the heaven slash. The lower the level you are, the less impactful it is, since you're now on the same level as everyone else. However, if you're high up, consider using plants and stone sculptures to shield against the negative force. For mirrored buildings or bright advertisement billboards, definitely use curtains to block it. Or if you're very particular, you might also consider using a bagua mirror to reflect the energy. Also, the location or sectors where these ugly sites fall is important. In Feng Shui, each sector represents different aspects. It can be a specific family member, areas of the body, a personality trait, or a certain time. For instance, having a dead tree in the northwest sector might mean stagnation in the father's career, or the father having a very dull character. Sector representation is a large topic. We shall explore more of that in another video. For the last category, I call them the energy imbalanced buildings and structures. Living near certain buildings can actually disrupt the energy in your home, making it hard to find peace and balance. Feng Shui focuses on the flow of qi. The Chinese philosophy is all about balance and moderation, following the philosophy of yin and yang. It's like working very hard versus doing nothing. If you work too hard without rest, you'll burn out and feel stressed. If you do nothing, you feel lazy and unproductive. Nobody wants to be a lazy bum, but there's no point in working so hard that your family members don't even remember who you are, right? What we want is to find a middle ground where we work enough to achieve our goals and also take time to rest and recharge. The same goes for the energy around our house. When there's an imbalance of energy around your home, it can affect how you feel and live. Strong yang energy from buildings like police station, radar towers, or fire stations can make people in the house feel agitated, leading to restlessness and potential conflicts. This is known as Gu Yang Sha, or the solitary yang negative force, where overwhelming yang active energy causes stress and disrupts sleep. On the other hand, strong yin energy from places like cemeteries, places of worship or hospitals can make your home feel heavy and depressing, affecting health and bring about frequent bad dreams. You will hear some masters advise not living close to transmission towers or pylons because these structures produce strong magnetic waves that can mess with your body's nervous system and immunity, possibly leading to health issues. It's even worse if they are right in front of your door. We also don't want to live very close to industrial sites or highways because, like I mentioned earlier, they not only produce tons of noise and poor air, but the constant vibrations also cause the qi around your house to be imbalanced. This can disrupt the peaceful energy you need at home. So you might have a question: how near is near? The general rule is this: if these structures are in a neighboring building right next to your apartment, then of course you have hit the jackpot. However, if you don't see it from your window, or most importantly, from your door, then it's perfectly fine. But if you keep hearing ambulance or police sirens, even if you can't see the source, then you may need to address that as well. The solution here is to use tall leafy plants to help minimize and shield off the negative energy. Also, invest in good soundproof windows and curtains to block out the sound. Remember, balancing the energy around your home is crucial for a good Feng Shui home. As promised, for sticking all the way till the end, I want to offer a super important piece of advice if you watched till this point. So how should you approach Feng Shui advice in general, and in particular, the external features that I have shared in this video? There are a lot of misconceptions in Feng Shui due to many reasons. Two biggest reasons are some TV variety shows exaggerating stuff in the past to boost viewership, and secondly, some masters trying to use scare tactics to close more sales. Not many people study or do research on this topic extensively, so people will take their word for it. So how should we approach it? Let me share a personal story to help you better understand. Before I started my journey as a Chinese metaphysics consultant, I worked as a cabin crew, flying to different countries and having the privilege of working with many beautiful ladies. Often at the layover station after a flight, we will meet up for a meal or some drinks. With my female colleagues, learned that I have some knowledge of Chinese metaphysics like Feng Shui and Bazi. They love to talk to me and get insights into their lives, especially about their relationship issues. So there was this one meal in particular that left a deep impression on me. At this meal there were several of us, including two ladies. One of them, let's just call her Amy. She was telling us about her boyfriend, how good he was. She said he was good looking and had a financially stable job and treated her like a princess. But now she's thinking of breaking up with him and asked me for advice. When I asked her why she felt that way, she said, because he spoke too loudly to me last Sunday. I think he disrespected me. I asked if there were some other reasons or if he always did that. To my surprise, she said no, that was the only time. All of us at the meal were a bit shocked. Another colleague, Kelly, who had been married for years, gave her advice. She told Amy not to make impulsive decisions just because of one incident, one factor. Couples should compromise, should forgive and forget because no one is perfect. Everyone agreed with her until she shared her own experience. Kelly shared that she had stayed in her marriage for years, even though her husband was gambling all day and had drinking issues and is not working, and worse, he's beating her up every time, which is intolerable to a lot of people. But even with that, she stuck with him and she was very proud of it. All of us were a bit shocked. The point of the story is that when we judge a house feng shui, don't be like Amy. Don't decide to move on just because you encountered one bad example I mentioned. It's like finding the perfect partner. There is no such person. Likewise, there is no 100 upon 100 feng shui house. Every house has some flaws. But worse, don't be like Kelly, who compromised and tolerated everything without fixing anything and couldn't identify the red flags. That's why we need to know a bit of Feng Shui to understand how many bad external features we have around us, how serious they are, and whether we can compromise with them. Speaking of relationship, it's very important to maintain good relationship with your spouse. So check out this video where I shared how to Feng Shui your bedroom to create loving vibes and also to have better rest and enhance your overall well-being.